Zoink, Scoobs, that's the coolest thing I've seen all day. Can I give that thing a spin?
I guess? What's up, guys? That was a pretty cool intro video. At least I hope it is. I always record those last. I think I know what I'm doing for it right now, but I'm going to record everything else first. But in between episodes, I have been doing this. This lovely hole. Oh, I meant to do that way cooler, but I didn't. This should be slightly over 10,000 blocks in area. I mean volume, because it's 3 dimensions. Which is exactly how much space you need for a permanent lava source. So once we fill this up with lava, which that's going to be a pain in the butt, this will effectively act like an infinite lava source. We can take as much as we want out, and the mass of it will not decrease. So to do this, we're going to need a minecart, some minecart contraptions, and a lot of copper crap. Like, I'm looking at stacks upon stacks of copper going into this, probably around a stack of copper blocks, which is unfortunate because that's about all I have. But by doing this, we will achieve infinite lava, which makes power generation so easy, so very easy. So let me go get a shulker box full of what we need, and we can start with the create crap. This is so expensive, and it's so much of a pain. We got 10 water wheels running down here that are generating it. They come up here, they go in this gearbox, and they go in this big gear, small gear, big gear, and it keeps on cranking up till we get this insane speed right here that's attached to 5 of these. These are what is going to drain it out of our minecart contraption. And then it pumps it through these pipes into this, which hopefully will fill up the hole if everything goes as it should. So I now have to go build a copy of this in the nether. So much fun! It is done. It has sucked, but it is done. We have a system that pumps from an infinite lava source in the nether. We pull this, and it starts to fill this up. Each one of these, once filled, is equivalent to 360 buckets. Which means we have to make a lot of trips. Like a lot of trips. More than 200. Which isn't fun. But it's necessary. Oh, it's really not fun. At least it fills up fast. This is going to be what I can do now and just be completely brain dead. I mean, this may become homework time. You know, like, let's fill up. Go fill it up and then go do another one. And then once this fills up, I should just have to turn this. Eventually. Come on. It's almost there. Okay, full. Shift turn. That makes it where nothing can come out of here. We activate this, and that turns all that to a contraption. And then the lava should be saved inside this. The minecart's a pig. What? But besides the pig minecart, it is empty and in a great fashion. So that's working. I'm going to take that back. But yeah, it is filling up the pit. And I actually did the math instead of just assuming. It's only 27 and 7/9 trips. So 28 trips and this is done. That is so much more possible than 200 trips. So much more possible. I don't know why I thought it was that. I just failed at math for a second, I guess. Can I, kill this pig? What is this? Well, was it just a minecart? That is so weird. Why? Why pig? Oh, it's empty. That's why it's not growing anymore. So I just gotta do this 27 more times. This is not gonna be fun. Holy crap, it took around 3 hours. Sorry. But it is done. This hole, let me go into free cam. Let me make sure nothing's gonna kill me. This hole right here is entirely full of lava. And I only know it took 3 hours because I listened to three hour long podcasts in the amount of time it took me to do this. Let's really hope that this was worth it. This This took a lot of time. And now I'm just kind of mad that I did it. Ah, creeper! Ah, man. That's disappointing. Okay, so, long time. I got it designed. I got all the stuff we need. It's all in these barrels. So, with no further ado, time-lapse time. Yeah. Well, I spent all this time. This is why the video is taking so long to get out, by the way. I spent all this time doing this. Got this super sick building built. And the lava's clipping over here. The lava's clipping over here. For some reason, lava doesn't care to burn down this half. This half's fine. But no, this portion has burned down so many times. It burned down once. I fixed it. Thought I solved the cover-up issue. Didn't. Nope. Then this had burnt down once, so it took me. This cardboard takes forever to get. It's stupid. So then I was AFK, getting just. I actually don't even know why I was AFK. And out of nowhere, someone was like, "Hey Sam, your thing's burning down," and they, luckily enough, thank you Jeremy, drenched it all in water. So now I got to gather a whole crap load of clay, so I can make bricks, because I think that would fit the theme. This transition is gonna look dumb, but. I'm just so mad. This factory has just been one problem after another. I should have just made a huge windmill farm. That way I could have power to do this. Because in my eagerness to get infinite power, I've made so many stupid mistakes. One, this looks like crap. There's no way to deny that. This building sucks. But I can't think of a way to fix the burning issue. So, we come in here. Once we're inside, everything's working fine. Look at this. Machinery is working great. What's happening is we have a mega pump in this back corner. It's got lava coming up here. This right here is the train pump, train parks. You pull this, and it opens it up out there. Over here, that's just display lava back there. But we got these different systems going in, and pretty much distributes it to all the different people that whenever they pay for it. And then, good old Ducky Boy, since him and I are partially teamed up, he's gone and made our the first pipeline, and he has to go all the way to his base. Well, apparently, fluid dynamics aren't realistic in the Create mod. So, for those of you who are curious how fluid dynamics work, pretty basically, if water's higher up, it puts more pressure on water below it. So that's why water towers work. The water's really high up, puts pressure, makes it go really fast through pipes. Apparently in Create Mod, that's not how it works. Apparently in Create Mod, you get both this pushing it and gravity, and it goes about this far. His base is all the way over there. So, I'm very angry. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. And I think what just needs to happen is I need to get the mega power plant working, which is just a long time in a creative test world, getting the perfect ratios, which isn't going to be fun, but I think it's going to be necessary, because once we get this thing to work, theoretically it'll be 1,000,000 stress units, and then we can just have a power line of this go along, because each of these is only 256. If I have 1,000,000 stress units, that's insignificant. And maybe I'll make like a custom pipe design. I don't know. I'm just mad. I'm just angry. That's all there is to say. I'm going to head to the test world. I got the first start of this kind of assembled. And when I was looking at it, I realized that we have to have a way to get the water pumps to activate while we want it to be linked to the system so it's self-powering. We also want to have a Kickstarter mechanism built in so that if for some reason the system shuts off due it to be glitch or I accidentally overclock the system, we have to be able to turn it back on. Because right now it's just staying dead in water. But if we get the initial power going, it'll function. So the issue is getting that initial power to work. For that, I needed some one-way shaft. A shaft that if the one side that's normally powering the system gets overpowered, what'll then happen is it'll resort to the smaller engine running on a smaller premise. Kind of a thing of a backup generator, as my brother put it. So what we have here is a system that is pretty much overclocked. We can look at this. There is no stress left. So if we had anything on, it'll crash the system. So let's do exactly that. Boom, system crashed. As you can see, it's no longer turning. But we go to the jump start, and it is turning. And the reason that's working is because right here, we have the speed gauge, which, as long as there's rotational energy, is power going to this repeater, turning off this torch, leaving the clutch, which stops everything going through it, unpowered. Now, what happens is, anytime there is speed, it gives power and that's off. But whenever there's no speed, it leaves the torch on, turning this off, making whatever's on the right side, the normal non-input side, into the input to the system. So if we come over here and break the thing that overclocked it, all we have to do is press the check button, and it checks it, and the second it knows it's okay to run, it runs. Now, I do think I'm going to make this a little bit more convoluted to make it where it self-checks. I actually think the redstone for self-checking is going to be easier than it took for me to figure this out. But even now, the check won't break this. So let's say it's overclocked again, right? If we check when it still won't work, it temporarily shuts this off, but then it goes back to how it was. So I want it to self-check and make it where it doesn't temporarily shut this off. Okay, this is totally an in-theory project for a later day, but I think what I did right here, I can do omnidirectionally. But what we have looks kind of complicated, but it really isn't. So, and I can actually make this smaller now that I look at it. What we have is this system right here is duplicated on this. This right here gives a 4-tick pulse every 6 seconds. And what it's going to do is it activates this, which allows this to turn off for 4 ticks, 1 second. No, 16 ticks is a second. So a quarter of a second, which is enough for this to kick on. If this kicks on, it's another motion sensor, so then it'll deactivate this one. If it doesn't kick on, though, that means that the system's overclocked. So as evidence of what I'm showing, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough to overstress it. System's overstretched. Watch whenever this checks. So it checked right there, but whenever it checked, whenever we would click the button to check, it would shut this off. But it's not doing that anymore because what we have is this second one blocking. Now, we'll have to get rid of significantly more stress because the other side was generating some power. We get rid of the 4 that we added that cranked it out, and it instantly starts back up. There's no override switch. So I just have to make this little motherboard system underneath each of them. I'll have to make 4 of them because we'll have 8 of those. And then the system will be perfect. So we'll have to find some way to hide that in the design of the building because while I do like the aesthetic of this, it's not matching with what I'm thinking. So I'll be able to make this smaller, but yeah, it'll have to change its form, or at least its location. Oh, this makes me so excited. Holy crap. Wait a second, I'm stupid. I just got this whole thing assembled over here, and I realized that with this setup, it's already enough to power it. So I actually don't need any of this. I got the technical side of this figured out. So, everything is running at a level 9 generator, which makes it where we are producing slightly under 1 million stress units. This is absolutely insane. 9 engines. What? Oh, each of them has... I got really confused for a second. Wait, are all these running at level 9? I think one of them may not be. Oh, these two. Why are you guys not? Oh, because I never changed this. Give me a second. There we go. I thought the number was a little bit off. I never realized I didn't change the way I had those set up. Over 1 million stress units. Holy crap. Man, this is absolutely insane. Jeez. So, I'm going to get the exterior of this made in between episodes. It's been way too long that I've been working on this episode. I just took on way too many building and technical projects at the same time. So sorry for the wait, and hope it was worth it. I'll see you in the next one.